Hey folks, welcome back. In this Taming the Tech Quick Hit, we're going to take a look at the Insert menu here in Google Docs, which is a pretty handy tool. So let's start with images. Inserting images, pretty similar to what you'd see in other word processors. You can upload from your computer. You can search the web. So if you hit that button, you could look up something like puppies, find a cute picture of a puppy, and insert it straight into your document, exactly where your cursor was. Again, like all other word processors, you can resize it to decide how it functions with your text, inline or wrapping, and all of that. Just pretty standard for most documents. If you want to insert an image from Google Drive, you can do so from Photos by a URL and with a camera. Again, pretty handy tool there. The table option allows you to, again, choose the number of columns and rows you want inserted. Simply click on that. There's your table. You can change the sizes of the columns just by simply dragging and dropping. Pretty standard there again for inserting tables. Now, Google Drawings is where something is a little bit new. This is something you'll see in Google Apps. Google Drawings is Google's version of, I guess, Paint, which was Windows' little drawing tool. But if you click on that, it brings up a new option. And here you can choose what kind of lines you want. We'll just do some scribbling. And I'm going to scribble some stuff on here and maybe do a smiley face. I guess I got to do lines. There we go, for the eyeballs. Funky looking. And if I save and close, it just puts that image again, just like another image that I can resize and interact with the text as well. So there's Google Drawings, lots of things you can do with drawings. We also have the ability in Insert to insert a chart, another one of my favorite tools here. If you insert a column chart, it will simply put a chart into your document with random information. You've got teams and periods. We obviously didn't put this information in here. It was totally random. However, if I click up here, you've got this linked chart options. I can click Open Source, and that's going to bring up the Google Sheet that was created by Google Docs when I put that chart in there. And now I have the information. Again, another really handy tool if you're looking to sort of make your document more interactive. If I change some of these numbers, make that one 5, make this one 129. When I go back to my document, it's going to update. And so you'll see these changes. And again, you can change this as much as you want. You can change the headers. You can take a look at, instead of having the period 1, period 2, maybe game 1, game 3. And again, the chart will automatically update in both. So if I click the update button, there it is. Now it's updated. Again, very, very handy tool. And you can always unlink these if you want it to be disconnected from that document. So that's in integrating charts. You can also insert a chart from a Google Sheet. If you already have the charts created, you can choose the sheet and then choose the chart that's included. So if you want to start in the sheets, you can do it that way. Adding a horizontal line simply adds a horizontal line, just like that. You can also insert a footnote, which is your standard footnote. It will put the little tiny number wherever your cursor was. So this is number 1. And then I can put my footnote down below there in the footer. Also, let's get back into our text here. I can add special characters. Again, similar to what you could do with Word. You can add equations, which we've already seen. That simply brings up the equation toolbar. You can also, get back into our text here. You can also add your headers and page numbers. And again, this is really useful for anytime you're doing school-related documents and you have to have page numbers. Simply click page number and choose where and how you want it formatted. If you click on it, it will put it up in the top of your header. Now, you also can change to have it be a different first page. So if you do not want a number on your first page, but you want the second one to start with 2, there you go. Little, I guess, point that I'd like to make is always a good idea to bring your page numbers down a couple lines because it will not print well if it's all the way up to the top. There's where your page number needs to be. So again, if you were putting your last name in here, if you were following MLA formatting, I've added my page number, but I put my last name before the page number. And again, as with Word and everything else, it will not necessarily follow the formatting of the rest of your documents. You always want to make sure you got it in the right font and size. So that's inserting headers and page numbers and things. Get our cursor back here. Adding in page breaks and column breaks, very similar to other Word documents. Adding links, comments, also the same as we've already talked about. Adding a bookmark, again, you can't do this in Word, but it's pretty handy to do here. So if I insert a bookmark, it'll put a little blue bookmark guy, which now creates a link. So if I want to put something like C header 2, highlight that, insert a link, I can choose that bookmark. If I click bookmarks, there's the bookmark I just added, and that will allow me to now link to that part of the document. That's how that works. So also, when you are inserting a table of contents, it will read your headers and your bookmarks, which is what I've just put in here. So it adds a table of contents. I'm not a huge fan of this, simply because I feel like you don't really need it. Now that we have this little table of contents over on the left, which if you go to view and say document outline, there's those header and the bookmark that I added. But let's take a quick look at the format menu. When you drop format down, again, this is very similar to what you will see in other word processors. All of our formatting options for text. We can also do capitalizing, lowercase, uppercase, title case, and then sizes. Paragraph styles, again, very similar. Alignments, line spacing, you have columns. Again, in line spacing, you can add and remove spaces after paragraph or do your custom spacing. You do have the options to do columns in Google Docs, which we did not have before. You can add a line before and or a line between them and choose the number of columns, 1, 2, or 3. Can't go any more than 3. We can also add bulleting, choose from your bulleted and numbered lists. And then finally, at the bottom, your clear formatting. Your other formatting, you can do some things with images. I'm going to go ahead and put a dog image back in there. Let's get our puppies back. I'm going to add the puppy image here under header 1. Now, when you do have an image, there are some extra options here. If I want to crop the image, I can crop it. I can also add some image options. I can recolor. I can also make some transparency adjustments and things like that, change the brightness. We can't add drop shadows or anything like that to words yet. If you want that kind of functionality, slides is the way to go. You can create great documents with slides. The last thing that we can look at, again, border weight, border dashes around the outsides of objects. So those are the insert and the format menus. Again, super handy, great ways to make your document just a little bit more attractive. All right, we're going to check out the tools in the next video.